I just ran Tokyo Marathon on barely any run training, by the way, in 2:54, which blew my mind. And Mary ran the race of her life and clocked 3 hours, 0 minutes and 2 seconds. Utter madness. But Tokyo was such an experience in general. So we're going to review all things Tokyo Marathon, from ranking it against the other majors in categories like Expo, Medal and Course, to talking about Tokyo as a city, as well as breaking down our own races, both in terms of how we felt and the data behind the performances. Let's get started. Uh-oh, completed the set. Boom, you're going to complete yours in London. But we wanted to take a second to break down the race, break down the experience, break down the city, and maybe break down. But
yeah, I'm slightly traumatized, but happy.
Yeah, the first thing to note is that we are both delighted with our times. Like, that's the first and foremost. You know, it might sound like Mary had good reason to be upset with the 3:00:02, but absolutely not. As you'll have seen from her video, dream race.
I was so over the moon, and I still am. I'm buzzing that I've run that time, and yes, I've got so much fire in my belly now for what's to come.
But now that we've done the 6 marathon majors, I know there's 7, but we've done the 6 original, we're going to, you haven't.
Caveat, I'm running London next month. I've been there as a supporter, and Ben talks about it all the time.
Yeah, you've experienced it through me and now as we're going through it.
Yeah, so I ranked London, but maybe Ben knows a bit more.
So what we're going to do is we're going to give you the things that we think are important and then rank them in the scope of the 6, not 7, because we haven't done Sydney yet. So we're going to rank the info in the lead up. We're going to rank the expo. We're going to rank the race day experience.
We're going to rank the course. We're going to rank the crowds. And we're going to rank the medal.
Ooh.
Let us know if you agree with what we think in the comments.
And you are fine to disagree, but just play nice, as we always say. This is a place of positivity. Okay, we've blind ranked them, so we don't know what each other have given, but we're going to start with ranking Tokyo on the pre-race information. It's a scale of 1 to 6, 1 being the best, 6 being the worst. Okay, we're going to say the rank at the same time, and then we're going to explain why we gave our ranking.
Yeah, and 6 doesn't mean they're bad, it just means they're 6th in the list.
Which means they're bad.
No, it doesn't. None of them are bad. They're amazing.
Okay. Information in the lead up. Okay, I'm count us down from 3. 3, 2, 1, 6. Yes. Okay, so Tokyo is renowned for not giving out too much information in the lead up. You get all of the information very last minute, and that felt quite stressful to us, I think.
Yeah, we kept checking, like, are we definitely running this marathon? Because we're not hearing anything from the organisers. But once we were there, it was
different, but in the lead up, it was quite stressful, and there were points where we were actually doubting we were in. So that's why we've given it a 6. I think we agree on that. Expo. Okay. 3, 2, 1, 3.
4.
Ooh, okay, not too far different. I gave it 3 because there were definitely more stressful expos that I've been to that I didn't like, but I did find this one stressful. I just felt maybe we timed this one wrong because we went on the first day at the opening, and maybe that's when a lot of people go.
Yeah, I thought I would have ranked it higher than you. For me, it was in 2 parts. The actual bib collection was amazing, but the kind of expo hall and stands and everything was too crowded and not enough space.
Yeah, I just found it overwhelming, so didn't enjoy, but I've actually found some of the other expos more overwhelming. So.
Yeah.
Moving on to race day organisation. Okay, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, 1.
It was really smooth.
It was slick. It was exactly how you probably would imagine a Japanese. We thought a German race also, but actually I would have probably put Berlin at 6 if we're ranking them all. But like, I put Tokyo at 1.
I did, and even though I was super cramped in the corral, in terms of getting to the corral, the signage, the sort of movement around the city, that was all great. And we did have Sports Tours International helping us, so that was a bonus working in our favour, but it was really efficient.
Yes, it was. Like the toilets, the queues for the toilets, the bag drop, they were all in close proximity. It wasn't stressful, very well signed, so absolutely the best one.
Yeah.
Next, the course. Actually to race on. Okay, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, 3. Ooh, okay. So what did you give it to?
I gave it a 2 because it's the fastest I've ever run a marathon. It's pretty flat. and the roads were nice and wide. For me, I felt like there was enough space to get into a rhythm. I just found it quite a calm course. Not perfect, the switchbacks are hard, but I quite like the fact you see the elites, you see other runners, and yeah, a good time for me, so a good time on the course.
Okay. Well, I gave it 3, and I suspect you probably will give it 3 after you've run London, would be my assessment.
Okay.
Like Chicago is 1 for me.
Chicago was 1
London
for me.
2. And
Okay.
because London is a great course for so many reasons, but I've still found London fast. Crowds. Okay, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, 6.
5.
Ooh. Interesting. What did you put that was like, why did you put 5?
Because for me, I don't mind a quiet crowd, and it was actually louder than I expected it to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
And very, very warm and supportive. So I felt like in Tokyo, the spectators were engaged with you and encouraging you, just in a quieter way, whereas my number 6 one was Berlin, because I felt like the crowd was as quiet, but that they weren't as interested in the race.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I didn't get that, but then I can't really remember much from Berlin, so.
Yeah, I felt in Berlin that there were a similar amount of people out on course, but they were looking out for individuals and not really supporting the general runners, whereas in Tokyo, there were loads of people there to cheer you on generally and give you a boost.
Okay, and last, but certainly not least, medal. Okay, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, 6. Whoa, that's the biggest difference.
I think this is such a reflection of Tokyo Marathon and Japan.
It's teeny tiny and simple.
It's understated, it's neat, it's clean, it's sweet. Like for me, it just really captures what that marathon is about. I really, really like it.
That's a big difference to me. I just like big old bling, like especially from my majors. Like the bigger the medal, the better. Like it was close because the medal that we got for Boston, we're not fans of. We didn't really like it, but I still think it trumps the Tokyo one for me. So I put
Boston
it at 6.
has a unicorn on it, so that's amazing.
Quite.
But this, I feel, is a good reflection of the marathon, so that's why I've ranked it quite highly, and I'm very attached to it.
And those are our Tokyo rankings and where they stand within the 6 marathon majors. Let's talk about the city outside of the race day. We didn't really get to experience too much, but what we did experience was efficiency in terms of travel.
Yeah.
Cleanliness, unbelievable.
Amazing. Like from the moment we landed at the airport and I went to use the toilet in the airport, I was like, this place is amazing. Like really well looked after, beautifully maintained. Yeah, it's just super nice and clean, tidy.
And you won't realise it until you're told it, but in Tokyo there are no bins, and that's because all people are responsible to take home their own litter and put it in their bins at home. So it's quite crazy, and you don't realise it until you're told. And also I liked the contrast between like the technological side of the city and the lights and everything, and then we went on a tour and went to this really traditional Japanese kind of temple area that was just
so
felt like we were completely removed from the city and yet we were in it. So I mean, Tokyo for me was a really amazing experience. I would just like to stay for longer.
Yeah, I would like to see more of Japan as well and kind of get more into the culture, but from what I saw, loved it.
Yeah. Okay, let's break our races apart. Do you want me to go first?
You go.
Okay. So in the start corral, I'll admit I was feeling pretty good. You know, the body had held up through training just towards the end, just about. So I felt confident I could get to the end of the race. The start is actually, we're starting to like being, this is going to sound weird, we're starting to like being held up a little bit at the start because it keeps our pace modest. It stops us from going out too hard and stops us therefore blowing up in the second half of the race. So when I got to 5 kilometers in like, I think it was 22 minutes rather than 21:15, I was thinking, this is fine. This is no problem. I can go through the gears. I've started modestly, and I knew also I'd had a wee. I'd stopped in one of the toilets along the way.
Did you have to go off course for that?
No, I found one that was just on the side of the road. Some porta potties, as you Americans call it, or portaloos, but they were on the side of the road. So once I kind of did all my diagnostics, my legs are holding up, everything's fine, I just dialed into what I now call a slightly unfamiliar pace because I don't train at that pace anymore, but it did come back naturally over the course of the race. I kind of fell in behind the sub 3 or the 3 hour pacers for quite a while, purely because I couldn't get past them. The roads were quite narrow in parts, and I was stuck behind them at, I would argue, the narrowest point.
Yeah.
So I couldn't get past the 3 hour pacers for quite some time. But again, I was thinking in my head, well, if you caught them up, they were obviously in front of you. So if you stay with them, you're gonna sub 3. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, I was like, I'm in no hurry. It is no stress. I'll just stay with these for as long as it takes until I can go past them. No worries. And then, yeah, I got to the half in about 1:28 high. So I thought, well, okay, well, that's a 2:57, 2:58, something like that. Felt pretty confident. Legs were just ticking over, and the thing I love about a negative split is that you might not necessarily speed up, but what happens is lots of people who have got their races wrong are slowing down, and you feel like you're flying past people.
Well, you definitely do speed up.
Speed up. I do speed up.
Split.
Yes, I did speed up to a negative split. Yeah, but it's marginal. So a negative split is a minimal speed up rather than a maximal. So really what I was doing was maintaining pace, maybe a little bit faster because of the slow start, but ultimately people had got it wrong and I was going past them and it felt like you were going faster. Fueling was just on point. I was just bang, every 25 minutes, bang, bang, bang. Didn't even have to think about it. Can't throw the gels away on course, so I was putting them back in my pockets. But ultimately, I could feel the benefit of being in the gym, and that was key to me, and it gave me the confidence that I'm not going to slow down dramatically. Even when the hamstrings started tightening up and I was like, uh-oh, I've never had cramp in my life, by the way, I know I'm lucky, but they held together and I got to the line. And
you're going to put your splits up because you did actually clock up some pretty good splits in that second half, and you did pick up the pace a little bit to come in under 2:55.
Yeah, but my heart rate never went out of zone 2. That's the craziest thing. Never went out of zone 2. That is the cross training. That's the cardiovascular base maintained. I couldn't be happy with that run. 2:54, 2:50, what was it? 2:54.40. Tickle me with a feather, paint me pink. I don't know what the sayings are, but like amazing. Couldn't be happier. What about your race?
Well, my heart rate was very different to yours. So I didn't sleep well. My heart rate felt elevated all morning, and although the start was well organised, I was in a very crowded corral because the toilet queue was quite long. I was later there than I'd want to be, and we were really condensed trying to get into the corral, you can see from my footage, so I felt a little bit stressed. But as soon as the race started, we moved forward really quickly. It opened up, took my jumper off, and we were off and running nice and quickly, so that felt good. And again, I wanted a steady, controlled start, but my heart rate was already right at the top of zone 2, bottom of zone 3 from early on, so I was quite concerned that I was gonna have a big fall apart. And obviously for me, I was going for a crazy big scary goal, but I was just staying so positive in my mind. I saw you twice, which gave me a really big boost.
Yeah, same.
And the whole way I just told myself, you have to believe in yourself, you have to dig in, and you can do this. And I think I mentioned in my race video that seeing the elites and the really fast runners come past on the other side was so inspiring for me because I could tell how hard they were working. And it made me realize, you know, this isn't meant to be easy. This is a big goal and you're gonna have to work for it. So I gave it everything. Got to halfway in 1:30.
1:30.00, by the way, that's madness.
But at the time I was like, oh my goodness, I feel like I've already given a lot. I don't think I can repeat that, but I'm gonna believe that I can. And I'm gonna keep going and keep pushing. And yeah, it was basically mind over body, and I held it together and dug in so hard, harder than I ever have before. It got harder to do the maths the deeper into the race I got, but I knew I was close. My last 2 kilometer, like the last split from 40k was my fastest of the race, and I tried so hard, and I felt nothing but pride when I got to the finish and I saw I was basically bang on 3 hours, the performance of my life.
What we've established is, I think that this was an important race for Mary, not because of the time, but because she now knows that that time is feasible. And you know, this is not a one and done. Mary trains really well, she trains really hard, she's able to train consistently. So we have Chicago later in the year, and that's
a good course for me.
Now the brain is opened up to these possibilities, and perhaps faster. So, you know, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I want to address this because I know people are going to ask, could you have got 3 more seconds on the course? And
anyone that's run a marathon knows that that's not possible.
Yeah, and
it doesn't work like that.
Honestly, like my first kilometre was 4:40, so a lot slower than my pace. So potentially the U-turns. But like Ben said, you know, I was just trying to run an even race, push myself as hard as I could. That was really my goal, and I absolutely nailed that. So I have 0 regrets. I wouldn't change a thing, and I'm actually really excited to see about the training I can put in for Chicago and to fully send on that course.
2 things to finish with. The first thing is we really need to shout out Sports Tours. I know we've done it in our race videos, but without them and the people that we've got to know and become friends with, these experiences are not possible. So if you're interested in running a sports tour race, we'll put all the details in the description, but they are a great company that share the same ethos as us runners. They are runners. So without Sports Tours, wouldn't have been able to do this.
And they had 500 runners out there in Tokyo, and they were all amazing people. We connected with so many people, all running fans, and yeah, it's a great group to be part of and to do a marathon with.
And then what's coming next is that was the start of our 6 in 26 challenge. Next month, I have Manchester Marathon, we both have London Marathon and Lake Garda Half Marathon, by the way.
6 stars!
6 stars for Mary, vibes for me. I'm pacing a friend at Manchester. Then we've got Sydney, 7th star. Then we've got Chicago. Then we've got New York. This is a full-on year. You definitely need to consider subscribing to the channel if you want to follow this and to see if Mary can run sub 3. Just come with us on this journey, and I know we'll be able to help you and meet you out there. And what about training now, Mary?
So yeah, I was just going to say, not all of those marathons are going to be raced. Ben already mentioned Manchester, London are more for the vibes. Same with Sydney for the experience. Chicago is going to be the target race for me. So I'm going to have a good break from training now. Really rest, really focus on recovery. I want to be careful going into the block that I've recovered from this huge effort, and then I will, dial in from about June towards Chicago Marathon. I'm going to get as much mileage in as I can and build a huge engine and a lot of confidence to go for that goal. Yeah,
it is time for you to take your foot off the pedal. You've been 9 months on the pedal.
I'm so tired.
Yeah, and now it's rest time, and that's perfectly okay. We will rebuild, we will recover, we will tweak a few things, and we'll go again soon. But to get to London, it's just tick over. These are races we're there for the enjoyment, and that's the exciting thing. And thank you for being on these journeys with us. Like, there will be shakeout runs at every destination. Can't wait to meet you. Just look out for the information on our website or future videos.
Yeah, and thank you so much for your well wishes, your support and your cheers. It means everything to us, and last weekend was one of the best weekends of my life, and that's all thanks to you guys and coming along for the ride.
Yeah, all right, we better go. We'll see you very soon. Thanks for watching, and have a lovely week.
See ya.